Hi, so welcome to another one of our Innovation Visual Knowledge videos where we share insights and information with everybody. And I'm very happy to be joined with Chris from our team today, and we've got some exciting information about HubSpot. So let's take it away. Chris, thanks for joining us today.
No worries.
Talking about HubSpot announcement around the new hub.
Yeah,
so,
Operations Hub.
Operations Hub.
Yeah, it's big news. It's not every day that HubSpot launch a new hub, so yeah, really exciting.
So tell me what, we've had Marketing Hub, which was the original.
Yeah.
Then we had Sales Hub. Then we had Service Hub, Operations Hub. What are they doing with it?
Yeah, so Operations Hub, it's a really interesting one because, as we said, it's a new hub, but it only really comes around three very key but core features to do with your data. So it's working around your integrations, it's working around the quality and the cleanliness of your data, and it's working around how to fit the bespoke model that so many organizations actually have.
Okay, so let's break that down. So you're saying integrations, customizations, and the automation piece.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So if we start with the simplest one is the data cleansing. So gone are the days of pulling data out, putting it into Excel and cleaning it up. That's all going to be done within workflows now. So that's going to save people so much time, add so much power to what you can do within a workflow. So that could be things like recapitalizing first names, changing date formats, changing your country codes, all sorts of things. You can be able to do that now within the workflow, so that's great.
Now, so I'm going to stop you there. So that stuff, like changing capitalization, changing country, that sounds on the surface like really simple, doesn't it? So,
absolutely.
We've got international clients, Deutschland, Germany, same country, but actually in data it doesn't mean like that.
Absolutely. And HubSpot basically did a bunch of research and realised that they themselves were spending tens of thousands of hours in a year trying to kind of sort out these little pieces, exporting data out, putting it back in. This is just taking all of that faff out of your data management and making sure that central, that CRM is a clean place for your data.
Excellent. Okay, so single point of truth, which is
absolutely.
what we like. Okay, so let's actually dig into how it's doing that. So how is Operations Hub different? Because we've had workflows already within the hubs. So what's so magic about Operations Hub?
Yeah, so this is an interesting one because in the same way that, like we were saying, marketing, sales and service, they all brought kind of their own feature sets, their own areas within the portal where you would work with these tools. If you take Operations Hub, it exists pretty much entirely either within workflows, so not a new tool, just new actions within those workflows, or as the integrations piece. So in the back end, anyone that's familiar with things like Salesforce integrations, so that really nice UI where you can go and connect Salesforce, map it with HubSpot, that's what they're bringing as part of their second feature, is that integrations piece. So they're starting with a list, I think it's 25 apps that will connect automatically, and it's really designed for the marketers, for the customer service reps, for the salespeople.
Let me pause you there. So 25 apps out of the box, basically it's like a plug in a socket, straight in there.
Plug them in, map the fields you want, and off you go.
Wow, okay, that's brilliant. So what if your integration that you want to do isn't one of those 25, and we know this, we've got clients that connect different systems a bit outside the norm. Is Operations Hub going to help them as well?
It is, yeah. So at the moment, what you have to do is if someone's connecting that third-party ERP system or sales tools or a different CRM, you can't, you need to have that third-party API external to the platform that's going to be firing data in or pulling data out. What Operations Hub is going to do is bring it inside the portal. So again, from within a workflow, you'll be able to use this new action, which is the custom coding action. So this is the programmable automation. And this is the big deal, really. And using small bits of JavaScript, you'll be able to custom code your own API calls as an example of what you could do with the power of the tool. So you'll be able to run an object-based workflow. So a contact will go through that workflow, call out to another platform. So that could be the ERP system, that could be a sales tool, grab a piece of information or push a piece of information, bring it back in, and continue running it through that workflow. And that can all be done from within the portal with minimal coding. And I know some people will start to panic when they think, oh no, suddenly HubSpot's going all codey. It's not at all. It's, it's giving us that power, and it's understanding that every HubSpot portal we work in is completely different. And this is giving people that flexibility to really fit their model, fit their organization.
Okay. So, we've been really lucky because we're one of the top tiers of partners. So we actually got information about Operations Hub before all the big announcement. And we've been looking at this. So just explain about JavaScript workflows. How's JavaScript being used in this custom automation?
So it's a standalone action that you can use within a workflow. So what's brilliant about that is your existing workflows, they're not going to change. You don't have to use the JavaScript. It's not suddenly going to completely remove the power from the marketers that are already working with these workflows. Yeah. But you can drop in, using the normal drag and drop, you can drop in this custom coding action, and from there you can run a JavaScript to do anything. So whatever you can think of, as long as you can code it, you can do it.
Right, so this is where we're going to be helping our clients with our expertise that we've got. And so what we can do is we can basically use JavaScript. My understanding is we can use standard JavaScript libraries within that. Yeah. So you can have a JavaScript library, so you can do basically whatever you want to do with that JavaScript to manipulate the data that you've got within HubSpot. And then also, because you've now got these APIs or these connections to these other systems, you've got this really powerful thing where you're going to be taking that data and being able to manipulate it in a very nuanced way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've seen, we're right at the launch of a new product here, and there's a lot of potential in here. And we've seen a few use cases already, things like being able to do much more advanced segmentation. So things like A/B testing, or literally splitting people out into separate groups based on the data fields in the system. But, like I said, we've got those API calls, so pushing and pulling. And I think it's going to be really, really exciting to see the use cases and to actually get into client portals, see what we can do, and actually start to, get down to those nuts and bolts of where we have had hurdles in the past that have needed third-party solutions. Yeah. They're now going to be much more streamlined, much easier to do, and just much more powerful. Really kind of gives HubSpot a lot of power. Okay,
because when we had the early visibility of this pre-announcement, I remember having a conversation with you about things like Zapier and Tray.io, and actually the fact that these may not be needed where we've been using them before.
Yeah, absolutely. So HubSpot, they bought PySync back in the end of 2019, and they've obviously been integrating that more and more, and that's a lot of the power of that is what's charging the kind of the UI-based connections. And then this kind of JavaScript edition, which by the way works with chatbots as well, so you can use it to kind of segment and route in the bots. Wow. That's where this is really going to start to connect those bits and pieces. And like you say, things like Zapier, whether or not it's going to have a place anymore, probably not. And I think for a lot of businesses, having that reliance on a third party, whether that's for data protection, whether that's for just the flow of your data, is never ideal. Yeah. So to be able to just have a single workflow that's going to run all these automations is brilliant.
So we're going to be taking out intermediary apps because they're no longer needed where we've used them before to plug into different systems. Okay, so that's super powerful. Now, what we've got at this point is we've got a free version of the Operation Hub, we've got a starter version of Operation Hub, and we've got a pro version of Operation Hub. Now, some of that magic that you've been talking about, it's not on the free version, is it? No,
so the free version basically comes in with the connections. So we were talking about those 25 apps that they're starting from launch. That is that kind of plug-in UI that you can start to connect into your other systems. And the starter version essentially adds to that the custom field thing. So those two, they are kind of what a lot of people will see as quite useful in terms of, like we were saying, with marketers and salespeople, not wanting to do coding, not wanting to have third-party APIs and things. That's great. So for a lot of people who've got complex tech stacks or very bespoke requirements around ERP systems and CRMs and other tools that they're using, this is going to be a lifesaver because they're going to be able to do that plugin and that mapping on the free and the starter packs.
So on that free one then, this is apps like Xero and MailChimp, and I think that we've got a page on our website in the Knowledge Centre where we're going to list all of those 25 out of the box ones, so people can go to the website and look on innovationvisual.com on the Knowledge Hub and find that list. The starter one, which you start to pay for, that then has the custom connections off there as well. But then the Pro, and the jump on the Pro pricing, some people look at that and they're like, whoa!
Yeah,
but
that's a little steep on the face of it, yeah.
But that's where the real magic happens then. That's now where we're talking about this JavaScript coming in for the...
Yeah, so at the Pro level you get the JavaScript comes in for the programmable automation, but they're chucking in more workflows, more lists, so you get a bigger allowance within your portal as well, so it kind of allows for all the additional lists that you're going to be creating for this operations side of the business.
Okay. And so this is really a further evolution of HubSpot, and we'll get on to some of the naming and the language that they're using in a while, but this is now they're starting to talk about like how HubSpot, single point of information for contacts, but they want people to use HubSpot to run what they're calling RevOps. Really, they're not talking about the entire operation. So if you're running a logistics company, they're not talking about running your actual vans around the fleet, but this is your revenue operations. So things like renewals, things like follow-ups, things like onboarding with customer success managers. This is what we're talking about, and how does that play into the custom objects that they released as well?
Well, exactly. So if you look at some of those business models you're thinking of there, you can, enterprise customers can start to tie them back into custom objects. So whether you were looking at, a business that has got a fleet, or, you've got specific logistics requirements that could be recorded against those records, they too can be through workflows that have got this JavaScript. And again, those API calls out to your other platforms, and it really starts to, it's really showing what HubSpot are doing, where they're going. They are pushing towards this platform that sits at the heart of your tech stack, pulls everything else together. And that's a good thing to remember, is that there will be other elements of your tech stack that just can't connect. And the idea, a part of this process, is that it can come through Operations Hub, and that actually starts to kind of make other parts of your system more powerful.
Yeah, wow. I mean, I know that because we got pre-access as a top tier partner, we were looking at things like the fact that even with the native connection to Xero, we can actually pull in billings to clients into our own portal. So when you look at a client company, you can actually see what we've been billing.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic.
It's really exciting.
Yeah, I mean, it's super powerful, because all of a sudden you're like, oh, well, we've got all that information within HubSpot. It becomes the go-to place for so many different pieces of information.
And it's a real-time connection as well. So there's no kind of sitting and waiting. It fires off every 5 minutes, I think. And so you know that all of your platforms, all of your systems are in sync. You know you're looking at the right data wherever you are. And there's no manual element of export, import, moving, updating. It's just done.
Yeah.
And I think that is going to empower a lot of our clients to be doing the work they should be doing, instead of focusing on, is my data right? Is it in the right place? It's just done for you.
Wow, okay, that's good. So I mentioned about change of language, and I think it's worth tying this into the death of Growth Suite. Growth Suite no longer exists.
Yeah, sad day.
Which is something that actually quite a few clients embraced, and it was really powerful. So Growth Suite was sales, marketing, service rolled together.
Yep.
Growth Suite's gone. What's coming in its place?
So now we've got CRM Suite. So CRM Suite, obviously very exciting. It's exactly what we were just saying. It's got the 3 hubs that we're all very used to. And now we're getting Operations Hub as well. So, you can start to, and we spoke about the pricing before. This is where Operations Hub starts to become a much more obvious and attainable thing to bring in at that pro level.
Yeah.
And Operations Hub becomes a lot more powerful when you are talking about it in conjunction with Marketing Hub, Sales Hub, Service Hub. one of each or all of them. So
Yeah.
if we're talking about the CRM suite, we really are starting to see that power of bringing those three core new functions, the clean data, the automated data, the integrated data, into all of those systems. So we're talking better personalization from your marketing, better personalization from your sales teams, better personalization from your service teams. Everybody's getting that better data, and they're getting it from more places. So it's definitely a win-win.
And what I was really excited to find out about in the CRM suite, so now they are definitely, they've always had the CRM at the core of it. It's been like the hub of the spoke model with the hubs around it, if you like. But the CRM suite contains CMS when it's pro or enterprise level, which is super exciting.
It's really cool. So now, if you're working from a marketer's perspective, you can have your website on the same platform that you've got all of your sales information, all of your service information, and it's just really powerful.
So when we were talking about this before, and we were talking about use cases and things like that, you were saying to me that, if we take that example of Innovation Visual, we use Xero for accounting package, we could feed in accounting data into the company entity. That could then flow through into the contacts, and then what you were telling me is basically we can display different content on the website based on the billings of a client.
Yeah, exactly. So that power of that data is everywhere now. So whether you're a customer service rep that's reaching out to somebody about a specific point, or a marketer that wants to display that that data differently and show different things on the website, that merchandising, it's all doable, and it's all going to be based off data that is automatically being synced and automatically correct and clean and ready to go. So it's great.
So you could have a client, and you might know, if we take the logistics company example, if they typically ship to Germany, when they land it on your homepage, the news could be relevant to clients that ship to Germany on the homepage.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the way, marketers should be thinking. It's how do we create that personal journey? How do we take that one-to-many approach and make it feel like it's one-to-one? People landing on that site should feel welcomed. They should feel like we already know something about them, and that we can use data to drive that and to make us better marketers.
Okay. In terms of anything else that we should be telling, and I know this is a pretty brief overview coming out very early after the announcement from HubSpot, but is there anything else that people should know other than to get really excited about Operations Hub? Have we missed anything?
I don't think so. I think it's just, we are really excited. There's going to be a lot of lateral thinking in terms of everybody's use cases will be different, and we're going to see some really exceptional ways of using this new power. And I think, it's all about looking at people's tech stacks, working out where there are problems now and ironing those out and making it all really smooth. And, like I said, every portal that we work with is different, and they're going to get even more different now. So it's about making your HubSpot portal unique to your business and making it work for your business.
Yeah. That's a brilliant point, and that's kind of a great place to wrap up, because we do treat all of our clients individually. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of people wanting to talk to us about what they could do with Operations Hub. The opportunities are fairly boundless apart from imagination. So you haven't got any holidays booked, have you, coming up for the next few months? Because I don't think you're going to be able to take any of those. So, okay, so if people want to talk about this, get hold of us through the website, probably.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like we said, we've got information kind of around the apps that are integrated and everything else you need to know about Operations Hub already on the site. You can jump on there, get in touch with us. If you're an existing HubSpot user, we can talk about how it's going to fit in with what you've got. If you're going to be new to HubSpot and this is something that's going to, suddenly go, oh, hang on, now this is going to work for us, then, just give us a shout and we can help you work out what the best package is, because, there are a lot more hubs now, and there is more choice. I don't think anyone's going to be getting Operations Hub by itself anytime soon.
No.
It could be a connector for the rest of your tech stack, but that power really is going to come in when you start adding the other hubs in. So I think that's where we can help guide you to know what's going to be best for you.
That's great. Okay, so yeah, so dive into the more information that we've provided on our Knowledge Hub. You'll find out more information there. Keep a lookout for new information. Subscribe as well to the YouTube channel so you'll get the updates. And yeah, reach out to us via the website, through the contact forms, or through the chatbot, and we'll be happy to discuss what we can do to help you. Thanks again for watching.